Good evening, I'm Roger Kent Barton. We're at Romford Greyhound Stadium and I'm one of the bookmakers in the main enclosure. And I'm trying to lay bets to the public. I'm trying to give them a little bit of razzmatazz. I want them to have a bet with me. I want them to back winners. I don't want them to always back losers, because if a man keeps backing losers, he'll think, well, this is not much of a game, I won't come. So obviously I do want him to back winners, but not quite as many winners as losers. I've been coming here at Romford now for over 20 years. I started in junior enclosure and I've done my apprenticeship out there, which was for 13 years. And then one progresses from the junior enclosure into the main enclosure once there's a vacancy becomes empty.
7-2 Magic.
7-2 bar one now. 7-2 bar one.
7-2 bar one. Take 5 of all.
2 minutes to be all. 2 minutes.
I think Romford Stadium is one of the finest dog tracks that we've ever had in the country. I've been to all of them. I've been to Park Royal, I've been to West Ham, I've been to Clapton. When I first went to Clapton, there was 271 bookmakers there, and on a good night they would get 20,000 people. But that's in days gone by when there's little entertainment. People played bingo or went to cinema or come greyhound racing. It has changed since then, but Romford Greyhound Stadium is a terrific track. You've got some good trainers, you've got some good class of dogs, and it's 100% honest. Never mind about what you read about now. Our contract trainers have all got very good jobs. It's not in their interest to do anything untoward, and I'm sure if they did, the management would be down them very, very quickly. Another thing is, if you've got straight racing, the bookmakers are fearless. They'll lay any £1,000 bet you like, because they know, even though you might have backed one dog, there's still 5 other dogs out there that I know can win. So if you get a 100% straight track, you get a very strong market, because the bookmakers know, well, all right, okay, he's backed one, it doesn't mean to say it's going to win.
All right, thanks very much.
Turn through about for penalties. £2 full cost.
£2 straight.
I am part of Romford Stadium. I am part of Romford Stadium. That's what I sincerely believe, that I'm giving a service. I love being here. Obviously it gives me a buzz. It is a business, and at the end of the year I win, but there's different ways of getting a living, and this is a nice way of getting a living. There's always something that happens that is the unexpected. You can have a giggle. The banter's extremely good. One night I can remember a man betting £100 in a photo, £100 onto a cigar. That's what he bet, and he done his £100 to win a cigar, because the other dog won it. Little things like that you never forget. They are amazing little things that occur in dog racing, and probably only in dog racing.
Are you considered one of the top people here as far as banter goes?
Well, let's say I can give as much stick as I get, and they do give you some stick, and the banter's very good. They're very quick. They have to be. It's a very quick game. Most of the betting is done in the last 3 minutes, so you've got to be alert, and it's cut and thrust. Obviously the punter wants the best price, I've got to lay the lowest price. So between us, they're trying to get me at the best price, and I'm trying to get them at the lowest price. So there's always cut and thrust between the punter and the bookmaker. Whoever wins over the night, there's never any hard feeling. Obviously I want to win, but if I pay out, you've got to pay out with a good smile. Punters do not like to be paid with a grumpy old bookmaker that's just done his money. You might feel that inside in your old heart of hearts, but you must never show it. You pay out with a smile, you slap them on the shoulder and say, well done, sir, hurry up back for the next race.
across the country, there's around 34 NGRC registered stadiums, and Romford's third in the standings, which obviously means that we're one of the highest tracks in the country. We are the busiest track in the country. We race 6 times a week, and it's probably got the highest profile of any track in the country. We're classed as probably the most popular track in the country and the friendliest. What made me want to work here is my father was a trainer, so I've grown up with greyhound racing. Consequently, I do love the dogs, and it was the dogs actually that made me come rather than the actual job. Although I've developed into the role now and I love the job, it's more the people and the dogs that would keep me at the stadium than anything else. I think it's incredibly unique here in terms of the atmosphere and the type of people that you find here. It's more of a family gathering or a social gathering rather than being at work. Through the day, obviously, you do have certain duties that you've got to carry out, but during the course of the evening it is far more sociable, and it's basically like having a night out, but you're actually being paid for it. Because of the amount of nights that we work, you tend to find your social life does revolve around being at work. So without the stadium, I'd have to look for a whole new lot of friends and a whole new lot of things to do on a night out.
Any good?
Yeah, back trap 3, won nicely, good puppy. Puppy came from Ireland, just been graded in. It's actually not really a sprint dog, this is a 400 metre race, and it really is a long distance dog, but once it led, it was only ever going to win, just a question of how far. I think greyhound racing is not about any one particular geography. It does typify a certain sort of person, although there are film stars like Vinnie Jones, there's ministers in greyhound racing. Typically, greyhound racing is more on the poor man's racing side. A lot of people in greyhound racing couldn't own racehorses, but they would be a small fish in a big pond with horse racing, whereas they can be a big fish in a small pond with greyhound racing. But typically the sort of people you'll get involved, they enjoy a bet, they want to win. Greyhound racing is a fast-moving, exciting sport with some risks associated with it.
The results of race 3, the winner trap 5, top roll on Mr. E. Herbert, trainer Bull, Stowe Arlinda Jones. Second trap 2, Union Miss. Third trap 3, Crafty Figo. 5, 2, 3.
I'm the guy who runs the Champagne Club Greyhound Syndicate, which is a syndicate that's been in existence for about 15 years, based here at Romford. It was formed in a restaurant when we were drinking champagne, or bubbly as it's commonly known. We decided to buy a greyhound. We named it Bubbly Boy. We called the syndicate the Champagne Club, and to be honest, we've never looked back. We've had some great social nights. We've won some great gambles. We've now got 12 racing greyhounds, all with different bubbly prefix, Bubbly Prince and Bubbly Princess, and we keep making up new names for the bubblies. And now it's become very well known, and people follow the Bubbly Club. And we attract new members every year. There's now 21 members. Started off with 5 of us. This is a very competitive sport, and there's an element of luck in it, and there's an element of knowledge in it. And if you think you're on the right side of luck and knowledge, you will gamble. Strictly speaking, I probably gamble at a lower level now than I did 31 years ago, because 31 years ago a small bet was a lot of my income. Today a big bet probably isn't. But there is an addiction now. It's only ever had a positive effect on my life, but I know people where it's actually done a lot of damage. But I suspect if they hadn't have done damage greyhound racing, they'd have done damage somewhere else anyway. They'd have been an alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever. So it's no better nor worse than any other competitive obsession. As an individual, I actually run a software company in Boston, which is my real job. But my real passion and the real hobby is racing greyhounds, looking after greyhounds, gambling on greyhounds, eating at greyhound stadiums and mixing with greyhound people. And Romford's the best place probably in the country for doing that.
You said to me that Romford is home. Why is it home?
Well, I'm a Romford boy. I've been in greyhound racing since I was 16. I've been coming to Romford Stadium since I was 16. I'm 47 now, so that's 31 years, so I'm a veteran. you always tend to establish a place where you most like to be based on the knowledge you've got. And I know Romford very well. I know the people, I know the racetrack, I know the greyhounds, but also this is a great venue. It's a good restaurant, the staff are excellent, and it makes for a great night. All the members like it. There are fancy greyhound tracks, there are gambling greyhound tracks, and then there's Romford. Romford's a great balance. It's got a good restaurant, it's got a good gambling market for those that bet. It's a safe greyhound track. You just get a good standard of people here. You don't get. This is not a flat cap trade stadium. This is a more modern one. In fact, you'll see from the menu we've got tonight, we've got lobsters and king prawns and steak, bruschetta toast. You know, it's not really what people imagine greyhound racing to be. Romford's a great social way of life. Friday night is what we call race night. You can not speak to someone the whole week, but you sort of know you're going to meet them at Romford on Friday evening in the restaurant. There's going to be a nice meal. You can share the thrills and spills of the week in terms of your business, and then you can share the spills and thrills of greyhound racing. There's probably going to be in the region of 30 or 40 of us here tonight, most of which might not have seen each other for a week or two, but will enjoy. Greyhound racing brings people together. It's a great sport, and this is a great track. It's a bit like a good marriage. You don't keep going back unless you're getting something that's worth retaining from it.
The results of race 12, the winner, trap 4, Top Power, owned by Mr. Armini. Trainer Walthamstow by Linda Jones. Second trap 3, Sundar Storm. Third trap 2, Autumn Chanter. 4-3-2. Green light.
I've been coming here since I was at school, 12 years old. My brother took me and I've been coming ever since.
Tell me about Romford Stadium and what is particular about this place.
Well, it's a nice running track. The dogs got a chance in front when they lead. It's a short track, 400 metres. The front runner's got a very good chance of winning because the other dogs lose sight of the hare, behind it, and they get a load of sand in their eyes. It used to be 460 yards, it used to be, the track, and the traps were farther back, and it was grass. You got a little cappy, like it used to be a little cap, and you get a rolling butter and sausage sandwich. It's a lot better now. You've got restaurants and you've got bars, and very good track for newcomers. They show you on the programme how you can have a bet. All for newcomers, guide to racing, and they specialise in people that have never been to the meeting. Like,
what keeps you coming back here?
Well, I'm a bit of a gambler, really, to tell you the truth. I love the dogs. I like watching racing.
I'm actually a bar supervisor, so I have to check the tills, cash up at the end of the night. I change barrels. I dispense the beer and the spirits, and Val's my staff. I've only had one staff the weekend, and I work on my own Monday and Wednesday because it's quiet. The one thing is, I met my husband here. He was a drayman for Whitbreads, and we used to be a Whitbread house then. And years ago, they used to give the drayman complimentary tickets to come in the evening. And he came with a couple of his friends, and the lady who worked behind here with me, she liked his friend. I didn't really take a lot of notice, but we went out together, and we went out, I think, in the October. Then the following June we got married. So I met him just because he came over here to lose his money. Lost his money and gave me. I don't know whether that was a good substitute or not, really. I don't know. He's never said. I'll have to ask him. The customers are different. I think they used to get a lot more older people. Then you get a lot of youngsters now, especially the weekends. But you used to get a lot of older people when I first started. And when I first started, it was privately owned by Mr. Leggett. There's a bench out there with Mr. Leggett's name on it. And then Coral bought it, and it did change a bit because it's a big company, isn't it? But no, basically it's not changed an awful lot. People are quite nice because it's not like a pub. Don't get many fights or anything, and got all their regulars, so you get to know them. It's like family, really. Hiya. How are you? How are you? All right. Yeah, I'm fine. They don't mind losing a little bit of money, so as long as they've got a drink and it's there for them, they're quite happy. There was somebody here a long while ago, we even went to their wedding. That's how friendly you get. And you know when their children are getting married or when they've got grandchildren. It's just quite a friendly place, really. You know, they don't mind if you're just a bit saucy with them. I mean, in the week when it's quiet, I do sometimes, you're not supposed to, but I do have a chair and I sit down on it. But it seems directly I sit down, they call me, and I always say to them, do you wait till my bottom touches the seat? And they say, no, June, but they do.
What will you miss about the place when you finally decide not to carry on?
I'll have to go in 2.5 years because I should be 65 then. And you're not allowed to work after you're 65. I should just miss. It's like going out for the evening, you know, because I've got 2 children. My son actually works here part-time. My daughter, she's 25, so she's always out. So I'd only be sitting watching television, and it is sort of like an entertainment, really, a social evening for me, and I'm earning money.
Race away here, two-legged hit for Anna Boxers. Holly Simon didn't, going to lead the round with a 2-length lead to react on Seski out of 3. Shadow Cool Stevie in for the out on a 2-lady pit. The outside Joe trotting out the back. Halfway, Holly Simon electric for the Boxers. 3 lengths here, Shadow Cool Stevie getting out after the lead and trying to close down the Holly Simon off the final 2 turns. Holly Simon and Shadow Cool Stevie. React on Seski, third as the corner, charging home to the outside, close. Very close now as they hit the wire. Holly Simon, Shadow Cool Stevie won for the judge here at Romford in the TGS Services UK Trophy.
Photograph finish. Please retain all totalisator tickets.
I think I've been contracted here about 8 or 9 years, and it's a long and arduous trip, I think you would call it. It's obviously a very long week, and I've got a young family. And obviously Romford is a big part of my life, really. I spend a lot of time down here, much to what other people say, but I do spend a lot of time here, and a lot of, obviously, it's not a 9-to-5 job, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So you've just won a race. Tell me what that's like, what it feels like.
Oh no, it is. There's no, you can't buy the feeling, like, really. I don't bet myself, and if you've trained the dogs and you've done your best with them, it's always nice to see them go over the line in front. It's a feeling of achievement. Something that I don't know how. It's the only job I've ever done, so I wouldn't know what you would get in any other job. Obviously in exams, I've had exam successes and things like that. It's the same sort of thing, but it's an achievement to get at least graded dogs over the line, because they're not probably as quick as some of the open race dogs. So it take a lot more work to get them to win, sort of thing.
The results of race 5, the winner, trap 1, Holly Simon, followed by Mr. A Shapes, Mrs. D Shapes, trained by Kim Marlowe. Second trap 4, Shadow Kill Steffi. Third trap 3, Reactive on Seski. 1, 4, 3.
To get into Romford or Walthamstow is one of the premier tracks in the country, and obviously, they pay a better wage as such. Do you know what I mean? It's a bigger, better setup. You're more established. When you're at a smaller track, you have to gamble to earn a living. Here, you can do the dogs properly, and they can run properly all the time. And people who want to come to Romford Stadium for the facilities, you haven't got to worry about getting new owners in and things like that, because they come for the facilities. Romford's very sort of like a homely atmosphere. It's very much more unique. Walthamstow is very much like a yuppie atmosphere. It's bigger and more established, I would think, for corporate facilities rather than than anything else. Here it's more families and the same doggy people come here all the time. I'm sure they do at Walthamstow, but obviously we're attached to Romford, and you get used to the the people that are around you.
Is this just a workplace for you, or is it more than that?
I'd like to say it was a workplace, but it's a lot more than that, because you spend such a long part of your life here. We're here quite a lot, and it's always on your mind when you're not here, because you might have staff here or family here, and you're wondering how they're getting on, and the mobile's ringing every 5 minutes. This has done that, that's done this, and it's non-stop.
I wrote to all of the tracks, actually, seeing if they were interested in a greyhound commentator, because they didn't have one, and Romford took an interest, and 7.5 years later I'm still here, going strong. I'm very enthusiastic. I still love the place. There are issues at the stadium that I find frustrating, which I won't go into now. But there are other aspects which I think are excellent. And when you get a Saturday night crowd, as we'll get tomorrow night, for example, tremendous atmosphere, and I think we do a good job of generating a lot of interest. And when they're coming off the last bend, I have to I have to imagine that I'm actually on one of the dogs that's tussling for the lead, and as they're coming off the final bend, I'm trying to, as you probably can hear in my commentaries, getting excited as they go towards the line and just building up that excitement. And when you have nights like this where it's all the open racing, top quality cards, and we had the Essex Vars a couple of weeks ago, it's tremendously exciting and certainly keeps you motivated and interested in the job.
Last couple of battery loaded away here. 3's the field reactor, Wolseski, Derry Hogan Play. 7 to 2, Holly Simon, Lady Pip. 4, Shannon Steffi, and 7, Salvatore's Boy.
I think at the end of the day, my job is a principal point of contact between the customer and the staff here at the stadium. So what I have to do is get a message across, not only as a commentator, the course commentator, but actually to generate the interest with regards to betting on the tote. If you're coming here for the very first time, it can be quite onerous. Everybody thinks as regulars it's so easy just looking at 6 dogs and you can see what's going on. But if somebody who's coming here for the first time wouldn't have an idea as to, which trap is one and who has the blue vest and all of that. So you have to be informative and keep people interested throughout the evening. You've got to talk accurately, concisely, and get the message across to the customers so that they actually understand it. And a lot of commentators just use the numbers, and here at Romford, we try and get the names of the greyhounds in during the race. You probably have noticed on your visits here.
I come here 4 nights a week, and for somebody of 87, that's a bit of a job, don't you think?
So what keeps you coming at the age of 87?
Trying to get some money and something to do. Otherwise, what would I do? Stagnate? Go out with ladies? Too old for that.
You could do.
Yeah, but too old for that.
What makes a good bookie?
Well, you get accustomed to it. If you're good at figures and judge of form, you put it all together. Takes years and years and years.
Tell me about the pitches, or the pitch that you have, and why everybody has a particular place.
Well, I've had pitches at many dog tracks. Hackney, Clapton, West Ham. They've all closed down over the past. Romford is a survivor. They get a good clientele here. If you come here Boxing Day morning, probably be 5,000 or 6,000 people. That's a lot of people for a dog track. When you get a pitch, you always get allocated the same pitch. And you're there till you either retire, go skint, you know what that means? And that's that. It's not a bad life. It's out in the open.
Where's your clerk gone?
There's the clerk.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I'm the best dog clerk in this business today. But the game is different than what it used to be today. In our day, we bet to win. Today, all the gamblers have taken over.
Explain a bit more why that's different.
We used to control our liabilities. We used to take as much as we could on a race and control our liabilities. Today, they take as much as they can on a race and they don't worry about any liabilities. This is a floor man. He's on the front. He is, without a doubt, the sharpest floor man in the business.
A floorman is a man that stands in front of the joint, and when the other joints put up prices, you relay the prices to the bookmaker that's on your firm. You relay the prices to them. Sometimes they go bigger, you tell them they've gone bigger, sometimes they've gone smaller. And you have bets back for the firm, and that is it. That's what a floorman does. Some are more lively than others.
two dogs, not a penny. Top £100 40. 3.11. 3.8. 5 to 2. Five dog pony.
Years ago, people that owned dogs, often in it to get money for a coup, what they used to call a coup. Nowadays, the dog owners we get at Romford, I won't say all of them, but I would say 80% of them are people that are happy to have 1 or 2 dogs. They pay their kennel bills, they go down on a Sunday, they love to walk their dogs. They might have a little flutter on their dog, but the maximum they'll have is, say, £50 or £100. And when their dog hits the front, you can hear them screaming, and as long as they come off 100% and they haven't been hurt, most owners now are very happy with that. If they win, it's a great bonus, and if they get a little trophy out there, I swear to you, it would be better than winning the lottery for some of them, because they say, that's my little dog, that's my little dog, and they go over it and they kiss it, they hug it. It's terrific.
I was very fortunate, actually. The dog I bought, which was not an expensive dog and was relatively limited in ability, actually managed to win her first race. And I had all the family at the track with me, and it was just like winning the Grand National. You couldn't compare that feeling. You know, it was what really got me involved in the game. Romford on a Friday night, for example, every race would carry a trophy, and it's the best quality of racing. And the buzz you get from actually walking out over the red carpet and collecting the trophy, it's a great enjoyment. It's a lovely social scene. Yeah, it's a feeling that means as much every time you pick up a trophy.
We're in the paddock area, what I call the work zone, where the dogs are kennelled. They arrive for racing at a certain specified time. They're checked in, their identity checked, their weight checked, and their condition of health or lack of injury checked by a veterinary surgeon. They're then kennelled in numbered kennels, which are locked for security reasons until race time. Each group of 6 is then brought out in the order where they are on the race programme. They are given their racing jackets with the identification numbers, they're muzzled, and they're again presented to the vet to check that they're all safe and sound. After they leave the paddock, they go into the charge of the stadium parade staff, and you as the trainer or the trainer staff can then go out to a viewing area. You have an uninterrupted view of the race because you're away from the public and the crowd. You can see reruns of that race on video. It's a good life in that you're in daily contact with your dogs. They're all characters. They're all different. Not all pleasant, but most of them are. They're very much like ourselves. There's the occasional one that has barbs, but they're characters in their own way, and you really get a lot from that. And that is integrated then with the fact that a number of them, or quite a lot of them, are owned by other people who themselves are characters. And when you marry all that together, it makes for quite an interesting life. Unlike the horse racing, all our racing, or virtually all of our racing, takes place at night. So after your day's work, when you might feel like the armchair would be more comfortable than the seat of the van, you have to get your dogs and yourself into the van, go to your track, and quite often when you get your dogs home, fed, put to bed, it's 1 o'clock when you're ready to go to bed yourself. Thinking unpleasantly about the alarm clock and 6 the next morning, so you really would need to love them to do that. But they return something to you, and the people who are involved with them do likewise. It's worthwhile.
I've often thought if I didn't come to the dogs, it wouldn't half leave a vacuum. I love it. I love the banter. Most of the guys who are here are top class. It's a good evening, and obviously we live in hope in this world, don't we? Everybody lives in hope, and you think to yourself, well, I'll go there tonight. I hope I win a few quid. And not knowing whether you'll win or whether you'll lose, that obviously is intriguing. You want to win a few quid. I've got to go against these people. I've got to try to beat them. They've got to try to beat me. So it's great. You know, if you go to work, you're going to get £300, £400 a week. You know what you're going to get. Here, I never know whether I'm going to win or lose.
effortlessly clear here for Linda Jones, top of the Trainers' Championship, and she got top power well clear of the come on this final turn. Sundial Storm leader of the day, she's into second, ahead of Autumn Chandler, who's also on for third. A facile success for the favourite in the last. Top power, the full guide now beats Sundial Storm. Autumn Chandler has passed the post. If one winning ticket on the straight for jackpot, collecting £100.